Companies with $1 million fundings release fine-tuned models. We have seen this time and time again. But today we're going to discuss about a project that's going to blow your mind because two normal guys from India, they have their own job, they have their own thing to do, and they have released a model called Navarasa 2.0, and that model can understand 15 different Indian languages. And the model is completely open source. They've shared the training code, they've shared the fine-tuning code, they've even shared the RAG code, like retrieval augmented generation, if you want to use it with your own PDF or anything. This is absolutely insane and amazing because this model is not just these two guys. Project has been built on the shoulders of a lot of others. And in this video, I want to go through every single detail. This project is called Navarasa 2.0. This is a Gemma, Google Gemma fine-tune, the 7 billion parameter model and the 2 billion parameter model. It's an instruction fine-tune on 15 Indian languages. For those who are surprised, if you're not familiar with India, India has a rich collection of diverse languages. Mostly people outside India, they just know Hindi as an Indian language. But I speak a completely different language, Tamil. And I live in a place where they speak a different language, Kannada. And a lot of other places in India, they speak different languages. So India is this rich, highly culturally diverse with a lot of different languages. And this model aims to cater to all these audience. In fact, they've got languages that you usually would not see tech products get released. So Navarasa 2.0 is a Gemma 2 billion and Gemma 7 billion supervised fine-tuned model. This is based on the Gemma base models, and they already had the first version released, but this particular model supports Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, Gujarati, Bengali, Punjabi, Odia, Urdu, Konkani, Assamese, Nepali, Sindhi, along with that English, of course. So technically this model supports 16 languages and 15 of them are Indian languages. And the developers have also released the GGUF format. So if you want to use it on low resource compute like your personal laptop, you should be able to do that. How did they manage to do this? The first thing is that everything that they've done here is built on top of others' work. I'm saying that in a good way. Like, this is tremendous for what these two guys have done, but whatever they have done is built on the shoulders of a lot of others, which is something that you can see the moment you go to the model library that they've got. So first thing, they have released the cleaned up data set for all the things that they have used. For every single language that they use, they've got the data set collection. So Sindhi, they've cleaned the data set, the alpaca data set. They've, after the cleaned version, they've translated, I guess they used Google Translate, I guess, or Google Cloud's translation, and they've translated and released the dataset as well. But in some cases, there are people who have already had translated data. For example, for Tamil, like Abhinandan had that data already. And for Malayalam, Vishnu, here you can see that Vishnu had this data. So you can see that these datasets were already available, and whenever datasets were not available, they took the alpaca English dataset, they used a cloud service provider like Google Cloud, translated it, and they've also released the dataset. So that's what I mean, that this is a really a true open source community coming together. And that is why you could see that they could support all these languages just by being two guys. And my bad, I didn't even introduce those two guys. One is Ravi Teja, and the second one you can see Ram Sri Gautam. So you have got Ram Sri Gautam and you have got Ravi Teja. So these are the two guys who managed to release. It is released under a research lab. It's called Telugu LLM Labs. So you can see they've got their own Hugging Face page, and they have also released the details like of all the data. Like I said, where did Hindi come from? Where did Telugu come from? Where did Marathi come from? And all the informations are available. They trained it on one A100 machine. This had like 80 GB memory. They trained it for 45 hours and they used a platform called E2E Networks. There are two ways that you can access this model. One is you can use Unsloth, which is what they used to train, and Unsloth is like completely another beast. Like, I've been following Unsloth for a very long time, and their founder, CEO, who's building Unsloth, Daniel, has been like quite amazing with incorporating every single thing that you can do to extract the majority of juice that you can in the compute and make it more efficient. So Unsloth is a completely different beast, and if you are not familiar with Unsloth, if you want me to make a special video about Unsloth, please let me know in the comment section. I would absolutely love to do that. But they used Unsloth as a framework to fine tune these models. That's one thing, and you can see the kind of compute that they use, and you can access this model, one through Unsloth, two through just normal transformers Hugging Face. They've got the complete code for you to run it. Like, it follows a very simple chat template how you can do it. They've got a bunch of examples also they've shared. So for example, you can go to their blog post and then read, if you were to do something in Marathi, how do you say it and what kind of response it gives. If you were to do something in Urdu, how do you do it and then what kind of response it gives. They've shared all the information. Along with this, they've also shared the training information. This is one thing that I'm planning to probably make a separate tutorial on, how to include low cost fine tuning on, let's say, consumer grade GPU for a Gemma fine tune. This could be quite effective for a lot of people, and whether it is a different language or for a different domain, this could be extremely helpful. So again, if you prefer a different tutorial, let me know in the comment section. So this project from Telugu LLM Labs basically gives you everything from training code, inference code, the RAG code, and also you've got the models. The one model, Navarasa 2.0, in 3 different formats. One, you have got the 7 billion format. Second, you have got the 2 billion format. And third, you have got the GGUF format for the respective format. So you've got all these models, and it's very straightforward for you to load the model and try out. I'm not very sure about how effective or how great this model is. I'm not here to benchmark the model and tell you whether this model is very usable. I don't use mostly large language models in local languages, but this is extremely helpful because, like I said, within India, there is a lot of RAG use cases that you can do for local languages. There are a lot of documents, especially government documents, that are in local languages. There is rich cultural literature that are in local languages. So a model like this can help people come over, get over that language barrier, and then understand and appreciate different culture, and also have some really good impact in the society. And given that all these things are being shared as an open source resource, this is truly open source. The reason it's not just an open model is because they shared the code, they shared the dataset, they shared the model, and everything comes with a really good, clean license. I've not actually verified the license part yet, and because they are fine tuning it on Gemma, they have to follow Gemma license. But otherwise, all of these things are out in the open, and if you want to use it, you can easily use it. So first of all, kudos to the creators Ravi Teja and Ram Sri Gautam for making this available for all of us to use, and also really kudos to the people who build these individual data sets. These are it might look easy, but somebody has to take an initiative. While most of these are alpaca translations, but this is where actually you can make a huge difference. If you want to contribute to the open source for whatever language, your own language or different language, I think the first thing that you can do is you can build high quality data sets. I know that is the least sexiest task in the LLM building at this point, and that is why I have massive respect for someone like Fifi Lee. If you're not sure who is Fifi Lee, you should definitely go look up. She's one of the first persons to build image in a data set that completely transformed the computer vision ML field before everything else we call AI. So if you want to contribute to this, I would say that there are 2 things that you should ideally do. One, definitely you should improve the dataset. Second is you can also build benchmark datasets that people can use it. But otherwise, if you want to expand this to new languages, the easiest way for you to do is you have to take one of these alpaca English datasets, and then you have to translate it in your own language. Then you can use their own training code and then incorporate it. You can add the tokenizers and you can incorporate it. And Gemma is a really good base model for that, because Gemma comes with really very high level wide coverage of different languages in its base tokenizer. So that makes it the vocabulary is rich. That makes it an ideal candidate for you to fine tune Gemma for different languages. And again, if you want to do it for your custom domain like finance, medical, or any other custom domain, I think still it is exciting. And I just wanted to highlight this project because this is truly a homecoming of open source initiatives. 2 different guys, a research lab, releasing the models completely for free based on a framework which the guys absolutely crushing it to make sure everybody can fine tune and run models on consumer GPUs This is an absolutely mind-blowing thing for me. Like, different people from different parts of the world, different contributions that they've made come together and make something amazing that can impact the society. Let me know in the comment section what do you feel about it, and also if you want me to make those videos that I mentioned during the course of the video. Otherwise, I'll see you in another video. Happy prompting.